This is the Violent Professional Podcast.
So hello everybody, Whiskey Mike, American Mark. We're back doing this podcast thing. I thought it was never going to happen again because we've been doing another project. And so excuse me if I forget how to do this. I'm going to try my best. I know Mark is. He always tries his best.
There is no try.
Yeah. So what has been going on in the past few months? Because it's been 4 months. I looked today. It's been 4 months since we recorded.
Damn.
Yep.
I gave you COVID, and then we did it like 2 episodes, and then it was...
We dated like 2 episodes?
No, we did.
Oh, okay.
Totally dated.
Yeah.
Me and Cumberdale here. Man, it's been a while. There's been a lot of shit going on. We've obviously been doing our day jobs, which suck, but, you know, it's work. It's money.
Was COVID the last episode you did? I thought
No, because we did one where we had David over and we talked about plumbing.
Oh yeah, and his cameras were outside or something.
Yeah, it
like
was
that.
so
I thought that was
fucking-
super
yeah.
weird. Yeah,
And then I think we did one more after that. I could be wrong.
hell yeah. So I've driven across the country 4 times since then.
In 4 months,
It's been
man.
4
That's
months,
fuck.
crazy.
That's so many miles.
Yeah, I'm done with it. I hope.
You're gonna end up doing it in like a month and a
Yeah.
half.
Jeez,
Like, fuck.
I hope not. I almost thought about it this time. I was like, fuck it, I like it so much. So I work. This isn't my day job, obviously. This is kind of like a hobby almost. Try to make it more than that. We try to do our best during it. But I have I have another job where it's like full-time occupation, and so I'm required to go across the country, either by plane or automobile, and I've decided to take automobile because it's with the cost of airline tickets, it's just easier for me to get across with my dog and my son and stuff like that. So that's what I've been doing.
A little less stressful, less hectic. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's stressful when you think about, you've driven plenty of miles. It's stressful as fuck when you're like just at the 12-hour plus time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm about to do it again.
Where are you going?
On Tuesday. Next Tuesday I'm leaving. Gonna take off and I'm gonna head to Jackson Hole. We're gonna explore the Tetons for a couple days, and then we're gonna head over to Spearfish, South Dakota, and then just fucking explore from there, like we do every year, every 2 years. So it'll be good. I got family land out there. Gonna go hang out and see the grandparents or the grandmother, and then like I have more than one grandparent.
Maybe some people do.
They passed, but you know, see the cool historical shit like I'm into, Deadwood, and go to Cody, Wyoming, maybe, and
You're going
just
to
see
Deadwood?
a bunch of shit. Oh yeah,
That's
I go to
awesome.
Deadwood every time I'm out. Every time I'm out in Spearfish, I'll go to Deadwood.
Yeah.
It's like 15 minutes from there. So
I missed the like they have a shootout every single fucking night. I missed that
Yep.
too.
Yep.
Like you know, because I've been just, I don't know, I don't have time to stop and do the like touristy shit. So like the most I get to do is go, like when I was just in the Tetons, which is awesome. That I just get to like look at the mountain shit, and then it's like, all right, let's go. Because I was like,
all right, time's up.
I've been trying to be better about it. The first time I went across, it was like fucking 12 hours, and I would get there. And then when I came back one time, it's been 6 times total. I figured it out. 6 times I've gone, driven from Washington to Arkansas.
Damn.
And like basically the first 3 times were just miserable because I'm going, like, I got caught in that snowstorm the one time. I think last Christmas I got caught in the snowstorm, and I just had
When
to
you
keep
had
going.
COVID.
Yeah, when I had COVID, right? I had to keep fucking going. So it was like 18 hours until I stopped, and I stopped at the gas station and then just fucking like
Shit.
slept for 3 hours in a like a Love's parking lot or some shit. Not getting in my Trent because I was like, I
Yeah,
might
you're
fucking
like, I'm
die.
not putting this shit up.
I had a brand new Trent, which is a rooftop tent. Myself and Mark have. We each have him. He's got the newer generation one, and I have like the first gen or something like that. They're super awesome, but when it's like sub-zero temperatures, it's like fucking not happening. I'm
Trying
like,
to put that shit up, climbing on your vehicle.
and I'm
man.
fucking. You haven't done one in the winter yet.
No.
Yeah, so like those Velcro fucking straps suck
shit.
ass because you can't with the
Pull-
gloves.
oh,
It's so
fuck,
you have to
yep.
have tactile, and you can't fucking you can't do it with gloves. So you have to put your fucking dick beaters inside of the little frozen ass straps, which is what I had I decided not to do it, but I've done it in
Utah, right?
in Moab.
Yeah.
That's why I'm wearing this fucking fancy Southern garb, dude. I have changed over the years. like into what this fucking
Goddamn
monstrosity
hippie.
is that you see
Desert
before
hippie.
you. Yeah. I was like, I've been in the South a bunch. It's time to wear it. So I was like, I'll get one of these. And
Tell
I
me
fucking put it on.
something. If I were to be
What?
drinking a bottle of water right now and I poured a little bit out, would you cry?
Yeah, I might. Yeah, I might.
It looks like you'd cry.
Yeah.
Don't waste the water.
Water's running out. Like one of the biggest lies.
It'll never
ever
come
fucking
back.
told. I'm gonna get you know what the next thing is gonna be? Like if you start talking shit about climate change, it's gonna have like a disclaimer, be like, this has been fact checked, like everything.
Fuck.
It's almost like, what the fuck is the point of posting anything? Because you get I've seen memes fact checked before, and it's
Yep.
like, you dumb shit. It's fucking comedy.
I'll
you
see him
asshole.
fact check it, and it has nothing to do with what you posted.
Yeah.
I'll post something. It's like
What was the one that
a
you
Denzel
posted?
Washington quote,
Yeah.
and then it'll say something on the other side. This was fact check, and the U.S. Air Force has something. So you're like, what the fuck does Denzel Washington have to do with the Air Force? What are
Yeah,
you talking about? All he said was something about my nigga. Air Force, what?
This is gonna get a disclaimer of racism. Two white people talking about that.
I didn't use the ER.
That's right. That's
Not at all. You look like you'd cry if I said that too.
No. No, this is all facade. I just like to blend into my fucking environment.
I like it.
What would this ensemble say in Washington? Would people?
Gas station, hippie, stoner, hacky sack.
I think you're just saying that because of what we've been doing.
Yes, absolutely.
But that's. I mean, I wanted to wear this in the next recording of what we've got, what our project is.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, where were we at?
You need to get a
Tetons.
wig though. Yes.
Yeah,
Tetons. Yeah, I'm gonna be going out there. I'll probably be there Wednesday and Thursday next week in the Tetons. So I'm gonna be exploring some shit, hitting up Jackson Hole specifically.
Yeah. How many days are you going there straight? One.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna leave Tuesday evening at like maybe 10 p.m. So I'll be there by noon the next day.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
You have to do it sometimes.
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
fucking blows.
Yep.
I hate those trips.
You know what's good is I haven't had an energy drink in like 7 months. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have one on my way out. And I think I'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll actually,
doesn't-
maybe it'll have some effect this
Does
time.
something. Yeah.
Because I could, before when I was drinking them every day, I could just drink one and take a fucking nap. But
Yeah, I'm the
maybe
same
it'll-
now. I
maybe
I
it'll
do
do something for me.
4 a fucking day now.
that's insane, dude.
Yeah.
You're going to start pissing it out.
That's probably what happens. I don't.
You probably
like,
are, yeah.
The first one.
Dude,
of the
just
day,
recycle it.
What's that?
Just recycle it.
Oh, just fucking just shooting it back in my mouth. Yeah. If I get 3 on me, it's good. No, but I get the
Just
first
catch
one,
it
and that like
midstream.
it's like I need one the first when I wake up. Otherwise, I'm in agonizing pain from caffeine withdrawal.
Yep.
Caffeine.
And
It's like
that's
a combination of caffeine.
whenever I
and
do
catheter.
this, a catheter with caffeine.
Yeah.
Oh, it's direct inject, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just in reverse.
Just up your
my
dick hole,
God.
yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, I used to get those caffeine withdrawals like whenever I quit drinking energy drinks because I've quit a couple times now, and this last time I was like, yeah, I'm fucking done. At least until I go on vacation. So 7 months, it's not bad. And then I'm gonna have that one, and I told myself I'm not buying another one. But watch, I'm gonna fucking drink that one, and then I'm gonna get on the road, and then I'm gonna stop at a fucking gas station and be like, just
Dude,
fucking
it just
relapse,
hits.
dude.
It just hits.
I'm gonna fucking relapse.
Yeah, it hits. Have you noticed any changes from not doing caffeine?
I sleep better,
Well, yeah.
which is weird because I could go to sleep on one before,
Yeah.
but I sleep better. Like I could go to sleep before and it'd be like half-ass sleep and it's fucking shitty. It's whatever. I'm tired, but now I go to sleep and I'm like, I'm dreaming and shit. Like
Nice.
I'm deep sleeping.
It's also
now, which is
because you've been
fucking good.
taking, you've been eating bull testicles, I heard.
No.
Like
Those
straight
are
to the
elk testicles.
elk testicles.
Yeah.
But they're not the ones that are already like prepared. You
No,
just
no.
chase them down through the woods and then put
Gnaw
them
them
in your
off,
mouth.
dude. Gnaw them off. I have to
You just
like,
chase.
you know how animals like bite the umbilical cord or like they used to do for humans.
Yeah.
Whatever. Except
mean,
I
I
just
do that
stretch
to
the
humans.
testicles out and I just snap with my teeth
Yeah.
until it just comes apart. So
That's how you assert your dominance over the wildlife.
any animal, really,
Yeah.
even a raccoon.
Yeah.
Do they have sacks, dude? I don't even know if they have ball sacks.
We talked about this in raccoon style. You know all
Yeah,
about
we
their
talked
fucking
about their
sexual
dicks, but
positions.
we didn't talk about their balls.
Yeah.
Like who knows?
You didn't see that though?
No.
Yeah, if it's covered up by fur. And if they have
That makes
pubes,
sense.
then it's like all mashed in there.
Oh man,
That's a question that'll never be answered if animals have pubes.
that is. That's a good one. I mean, humans, like okay, humans got like patches of fur, right? And then they got areas that don't have so much fur, and then we groom our fur, like we cut it down, we trim it.
Make it look
fancy.
fancy.
Everywhere, not just the sack, but you know,
you shave it.
Put it in weird like shapes and stuff,
Yeah.
arrows, whatnot, lightning bolts.
Yeah. Just right straight down. That's all it is about.
It's so weird.
You know,
It's
we have like the hair, it's like, and the scents and shit like that attract a mate, right?
Yeah.
But we don't do, like, animals have like mating dances and shit. What do we have that we do?
Same shit,
But it's just with like vehicles.
but we feel
and
really
fucking money
awkward
and
doing
shit.
it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that? There's a fucking bird. I forgot what the bird's called, but
Is
it'll
that
like,
the one that goes, hiding and I'm not hiding, hiding? You know which one I'm talking
yes,
about?
I know which one you're talking about. I forgot what that one's called, but there's another one. Might be the same fucking subspecies, but it'll like pick a color, right?
Yeah.
And it'll go around and collect things of that color and put it in their little area.
And they can see
and
color.
decorate their fucking area. Yeah, so they'll like pick blue, and then they'll go find a bunch of blue plastic and fucking Sharpies and shit, and just steal it and bring it back and just decorate their little fucking nested area. It's no nest. It's just they clean off the ground and then they decorate the fucking walls of their little abode. Weird birds, man.
Just to fuck. And that's
Just
I
to
mean,
fuck, but dude, we're doing the same shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just in a different way.
We just get bored. Like, we
Yeah.
just get bored with shit. And we're like, oh, let me do this. Let me put a fucking rooftop tent up there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And-
And then all the bitches.
I don't
are
know
like,
if that attracts chicks.
Look at that fucking Trent. He's got
I've
such
never-
a big Trent.
I've never gotten laid in it. In fact, I've never jerked off in it either.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean,
My focus is just going to sleep in there, which is actually,
that's how it should be.
you've experienced it, really easy to do in those things.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, man. David and I went out to Brown Creek, and we camped on Brown Creek, which is right off the Skokomish River.
The road's not falling out or anything like
Oh, no, it's good
that? Okay.
all the way through, and
Good.
it's paved most of the way now,
I
which
know
is
it's
kind of
closed for a while.
cool.
Or
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
closed
They
down.
they closed off that area because of flooding
Okay.
a long time ago, but the water's nice and low. It's no issue right now, and it's a pay site. But there's nobody out there to check, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I took one of the envelopes and I was like, how do I pay? Can I do this online? No, there's no fucking signal. Didn't bring my
The
checkbook.
Rangers aren't going around checking.
Correct.
I don't have luck
They
with
probably do
that. Yeah.
like twice a month, maybe, or maybe once a week or something. But we were out there on a Monday and a Tuesday and there was nobody. I mean, there was people camping, but nobody came by to check.
I have zero luck with getting away with that.
So bring like a 20. You know what I mean?
I've got a bag full of
Oh, you're fucking good.
change
Yeah,
and shit.
because
that I
that's
bring
what they have
over.
an envelope thing, and you can just put the money in there and then put it in the.
You know, it's
in
not
that.
because it's always like change in quarters. When you have quarters, the slot's so fucking thin you can't put it in, so you have to like just
Yeah.
throw it in there.
Yep.
But yeah, I get asked every single fucking time.
Yeah.
And so like this last time coming across, I just reserved a whole bunch of ways.
That's
of
the way to do it. I wish it wasn't like that,
Yeah.
but that's the way to do
and
it
then
for sure.
Tetons are spots where you don't have to pay.
Really?
It's cool. Yeah. And the park rangers
That's
and shit
fucking
came
cool.
by and they were just like, "Hey, there's fucking bears down the hill. Make sure you don't all those Cheetos and ramen noodles you're eating. Like, don't fucking leave them around."
Yep. They'll get
Yeah,
your
she was
fucking
telling
coolers.
me all kinds of crazy shit about how like people will bring, because I had my dog, and she's like, yeah, people will bring up like dog bones and shit with like bone marrow or like pig ears and shit, and they
It's
just
fucking
leave stuff
dumb.
everywhere, and then the bears in the area, grizzlies also, they'll just fuck up a whole campsite.
Oh yeah.
Like my cooler, where was it? Colorado in the Rockies. Super beautiful and scenic, and my dumbass has a fucking cooler underneath the Trent, and I was like, there's no way a bear's gonna get in my fucking Trent, but raccoons will, and they get in there and they fucking know what a cooler is,
Yep.
and they just fucking open it up.
They're like,
And
I
it
know
was-
exactly where this shit is.
It was like 1 a.m. and I was sitting there and I'm like hearing something. I'm like, there's nothing in there. And then I was like, mate, and I'm just listening, nothing.
They're just
and then
down
I
there
he-
fucking.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they got raccoon stuff. Then I hear the fucking cooler door go, what damn, slam
Oh,
up
shit.
onto the base of it because it's that. And they're like, I don't know what it is, but I'm like fucking like, I'm like, holy fuck, I might have to smoke a bear. And it like whatever it was, it fucking scooted out of there, and I was like, it has to be a raccoon. There's nothing else. It's not a cougar. It's a fucking bear's not reaching over the edge, because he would have been shaking the whole.
Some 14-year-old that's camping next to you.
It's just some kid.
I'm just hungry, man.
Yeah. Dude, I saw the fucking thing, so I ate your raw sausage, dude. Like, I don't know. It's like I didn't think about it, because everything's like wrapped up.
Yeah.
And it's in a cooler, and I just like go, fuck those rules. And it fucking ripped open a package of uncooked sausage and was just smacking it down. Got it all over the place.
What kind of cooler was it?
Just a fucking cooler. It was
doesn't latch or anything like that. So they make coolers. I mean, they're significantly more expensive, but they have like the rubber hooks and stuff that were. An animal tries to open that, they're not getting it. They're not getting it.
Like, even if they smell it, they'll just move on, right?
Well, they'll attempt.
Okay.
They'll be like, well, fuck, wait, it's not working.
So I was thinking like those Pelican cases, you could turn, like if you put just something on the inside and then put spray foam, you can make a pretty badass cooler
you can
out of
insulate the hell out of that thing for sure.
And then they can't fucking open those.
Oh yeah,
and it's a lock. That's a good idea.
They might. I mean, if you had it tied down, that shit ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, like up on the roof rack or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. That's funny. Like, and then I was all worried, like, what if this fucking thing has rabies and it just like spit all over my fucking food and shit? So I was like, we're not eating any of that. I was like, I got cans of like drinks and shit in there. I was like, the thing was just inside my fucking cooler. I don't know what kind of weird diseases this shit
He's
has.
just in there jerking his little dick off in the cooler.
You seen that video? He's like, the raccoon's playing with himself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah. So you just dump it all?
It was just like there was no real food in there.
Yeah.
Like, it was like a thing of sandwich meat, which he was like fucking with. I say he, like it assumed its gender as a fucking male.
Oh, males are always mischievous.
But so lunch meat and then a package of like uncooked sausage, and it got into both of them. And was like, I'm not fucking eating turkey.
It's got like 3 bites out of it. You're like,
yeah, fuck it.
Just take a bite.
Yeah, and then we had just like soda cans and shit, but like Mountain Dew or whatever.
I've never had animals, out of all the crazy shit I've done as far as places I've camped and been out where there's wildlife, and there's all these signs that say, don't do this because the raccoons will get it, don't do this because the bears will get it. Probably not smart of me, but I'll take my food into my tent, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't fucking snack on it so the crumbs fall on me. And, like, I'm not leaving a goddamn trail of wrappers.
You've got
and
like
shit.
Otis Spunkmeyer's like raisin cookies or like oatmeal raisin cookies, just like
like
chest
brushing
hair
it
and
off.
shit. Like, fuck.
It's open next to me. Fucking pack of Oreos is open next to me as I fall asleep. Yeah, I've never had an animal break into my shit. I've had little ground squirrels come up and try to get in my bag.
Yeah.
But everything's sealed up, so they don't get anywhere with it. They're like, I can't get in here. They'd say that too, you know. But
Yeah.
like I've camped out on Ozette. They're like, yeah, the bears are really prevalent, and they're not scared.
They can't be big bears out there,
Bro,
though.
they're pretty big. They're
Like
pretty
brown
big.
bears?
They're black bears.
Black bears?
Yeah, and they're big, and black bears, they'll fuck you up, you know.
Well,
but
yeah, it's a bear.
people are like, oh, they're not afraid. Fuck yeah, they're afraid. Like, you make some noise, they're like, I'm out. They fucking book it. You take a step towards them, they're like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not fighting this guy. They're very docile, but they're interested in food only. That's like it's a bear, you know?
Yeah.
They'll fuck in the woods, and then they'll come out on the beach and eat food. Everything that washes up that's dead, they're like, oh yeah, that's a snack. And then we just so happen to be humans that camp on beaches, so they're like, oh, I wonder what else I can snack on. What's this shit, you know? And then people will leave their shit out, and then they'll go take a 4-mile walk down the beach just to go climb something, or like sit on the beach down there and forget about their camp, and they're like, oh, I didn't put those fucking Oreos away.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Oreos are gone.
That bear's getting a fucking snack.
Is Ozette on the agenda this year?
It is not.
Okay.
Usually we do that one in the springtime, which is probably the best time to do it. Though the last time we went was July, and that's when all the bears were out. So
Yeah.
springtime, they're still kind of like further inland. Once you start getting into late spring, early summer, then the bears are like fucking beach time, baby.
Yeah. I'm excited about it because now I have more leeway to do some shit, because I can forecast my schedule out for like pretty much till the next 10 years if I wanted to.
Hell yeah, that's dope.
Right. So
it'll definitely be on the agenda going forward.
Yeah. Which we gotta have a bunch of trips now. Speaking of which, let's get into what the big. I mean, since we did the last episode a while ago, 4 months. There's been some developments that we've been waiting for a fucking year plus.
Yeah. So two things we're working on. The first thing is TaskDev. TaskDev is now a 501c4, which is a social welfare group, right?
Yeah.
And we provide that outlet for people, camaraderie. We build camaraderie. We build brotherhood style stuff between military, civilian life, law enforcement, anything like that. We're just bringing everybody along and just having a good fucking time doing it, man. All the outings we have always done, we're going to continue to do. We're just labeled now as a 501c4, which is officially designated within the IRS, which is cool.
Yeah. I mean,
fuck the IRS, but
thank you for giving us a rating, but also fuck you. It's something we've wanted. I mean, we wanted a different rating than they gave us, or a nomination, but it is what it is. It is that's maybe in the future, but it enables us to do more things. It makes I think more legitimate in the eyes of people that may be just finding out about us.
Absolutely.
And so I'm super excited about it, and it's been a long time coming. I put in the paperwork like beginning of the fucking pandemic.
Yep.
I think. So somewhere in the middle. I don't know exactly, but it's like over a year before we actually got notification. And the fucked up part is they don't tell you if it's going to happen or not. So you just pay the money for the application. It's non-refundable.
And then you wait.
And they don't say anything. You can't even contact anybody. Like, you have a representative, but you only get that representative's name once they made a determination. And even when they say, like, here's your representative, it's only on the nomination paperwork, so you can't see it. Like, they'll send you other stuff that's like, hey, we're just sending this as, like, this is the record or whatever. So I think it's awesome, and we have some new people a part of the equation on all this, and some cool things in the future, like potential space. And too early to say yet, but like officially we're doing it, but like office space or headquarters area, getting back to what the team house was, or the gym, or any of the stuff you've heard us talk about. It's weird because I don't remember if we've talked much about what TaskDev is or Aries, because I kept it all separate.
We did. So back
in the first
episode, and then a few of them following, but we went away from that. But it's cool. We bring it up every now and then.
Do you want to like go over what it is today? Because it's different than what it was when we first started talking about, like, from your perspective. Anybody,
it definitely is.
Anybody that is just finding out about the podcast, like,
so if you don't follow TaskDev, TaskDev on social media, do it. We are a group of individuals such as Mike and myself and a few other people. We are basically a group that goes out and does cool shit and has fun doing it with people. We're bringing people along, veterans, like-minded individuals that want to do the same thing and build that camaraderie with people. And we're designated to do that now, which is cool. It's, like you said, it's been a long time coming, and we're organizing differently now. So in the beginning, we had a whole bunch of people and we grew rapidly, and it was tough to control. We're to the point now, or a few, maybe like a year ago, where it was just back down to like Mike and I trying to restructure, rebuild from the ground up, because we lost our way a little bit. Not necessarily us, but the group as a whole. So by restructuring and rebuilding and rebranding, trying to make this legit, we got the designation for the 501c4. We brought along more people that are like-minded, that have a goal, have a mission to be part of this and not just take part in this. So we're excited about where it's going. And I mean, obviously the two of us have been around since the beginning. So long way to go.
I think what's just yesterday when we were talking in the group chat, like the way everybody was interacting and putting ideas when they were like, when they'd come into the chat and start talking, it almost feels like the right group of people now.
Yeah.
And just continuing to like develop and improve the infrastructure, because the people that were just in the group chat, just seems like everybody's more involved than
absolutely. So now we'll have the dynamic, like, somebody will bring something up and somebody else will say, hey, that's a good idea. I'll start working on this.
Yep.
As opposed to the past, we'd say, we throw out an idea and then somebody would wait. Like, yeah, it's a cool idea. And wait, and then somebody would be like, hey, can you work on that? They're like, okay.
Yeah, that's
so they got to be told what to do.
That's like one of the hardest parts of like, we've talked about it, but it's like people just waiting for something to happen, and then they'll push you and go, hey, when's stuff gonna happen? And you're like,
make it happen.
Make it happen. They're like, but you're supposed to do that. It's like, no, it's a group effort. Like, we all do this together to make this fucking shit show operate. So that's like one of my frustrations. Not so much lately, but it's like we've had that, and it was like right after we got big, like when it was like we were national, right? We had all these people, and then it was like everybody was like almost everybody was just waiting for somebody else to do something. Not to shit on anybody or anything like that. It just highlights that there's when you grow and you become successful, just like Aries was, or Tastev or whatever the fuck we've all been a part of it. It's like the going in next steps to the next level of whatever you envision success be. It's like it's always hard to make that next step. And
it's
in there.
even harder because none of this is a job. From the beginning, it's completely optional. People don't have to do anything, but if they say they're going to take part or be part, they got to do that,
Yeah.
And that's the troubles we had, but I think we're a step above that now, and we're making gains. So I'm excited.
And also, like, we've taken a break from it in a sense, not a full break, but I've had my frustrations. As like I've been vocal about it, about what I'm frustrated about, and I said I might have to take a break from all this because it just gets so like it's like we were hitting walls at times and we couldn't get through it, and but it just feels better like after taking a quote unquote break for what we did and then getting back into it now. It's like a renewed sense of motivation to make it happen again,
Gave us a renewed sense of direction too, so different ideas of how to move forward.
Yeah. So we've got some events coming up, which is what we do with Tastev. We're doing some public stuff that we'll be pushing out on the social media. So that's why Mark is saying follow Tastev, and you'll be aware of all the shit we got going on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to be going back. The climb team is going to be going back to Lake of the Angels again in September 9th, 10th, 11th. So stay tuned to that one if you want
favorite
to
trip,
out.
I think.
That's my favorite one for sure.
Yeah. And it's like you get completely out there, no cell phone reception even possible, that you could just like kind of decompress from all of the bullshit on social media.
Yeah, detach from civilization for a while.
Eat some fucking blueberries.
God, that's why we go in September. So there's fresh mountain blueberries. You call them huckleberries when they're on a mountain. But that's the spot,
Is that the
man.
difference?
Yeah, man. Huckleberries are mountain blueberries.
Okay. And the goats are gone.
Yes.
All right.
They've been eradicated.
Violent motherfuckers, dude.
They'll kick rocks at you.
We were there. Was that the last trip you were on?
We saw some hunters come up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't on the last one we went up there, but the one prior,
dude,
yes.
I like the thing. I like my occupation, but it also like it takes me away from some shit because I always have to leave the state to go do it. And now I'm back between Washington and Arkansas, and now I'm going to other places. So, but it's still like a 2-week cycle right now of doing administrative and other kinds of stuff. I'm working full time, but so it takes a lot out of me to come back, get back into the swing of things here, and then go back to the South and then just do that whole thing.
Well, you got the time change, the job functions, and then to come back and be like, hey, Mike, let's go hike. And you're like, fuck.
And like, because then I'm like, I don't have, my son's here. So it's like getting back and to do shit with him. And like, then I'm like, hey, I got to go on a fucking camping trip. It's like, you just got back, dude. So I'm trying to get a good work-life balance right now. I'm trying to figure out that portion. And so like this new thing we have, it's like, it's making it easier, supposedly.
For sure.
So, and then aside from that, which I want to do some podcast episodes where we don't do the voices and all the other shit, and we just talk about the episodes and put it on the Violent Professional podcast to promote that, or maybe just keep it in the same fucking what is it called, where it's like it's like a universe.
Okay.
Like I'm thinking about Marvel Universe or whatever, but keep it in the same thing. I don't know. Put it on here to promote it,
Yeah.
where we just talk about it, or what? But because it could be, I could have see us doing episodes of just behind the scenes shit.
Yeah.
But
Well, to start, if you don't follow on social media, Mega Cosmic Adventure Hour.
hell yeah.
So follow that shit, because there's some stuff coming up you're not going to want to miss. And that drops in the fall, October, right? I think it's going to be the
I'm
first
trying
one.
for October,
Trying
but
for
like the
October.
editing process is so fucking such a monster. I'm like halfway through episode 3 right now of just cutting out the vocals.
That's
Anyway.
yeah, okay. So if you enjoy this podcast, you're going to enjoy that one for damn sure. So get on it, Mega Cosmic Adventure Hour, and you're gonna have a lot of fun listening to that. You'll be very immersed in the whole story.
yeah.
So it's fucking
You see the
awesome.
smile on my face. I'm super excited, dude. I think it's going to pull in other people that have never heard of the Violent Professional podcast. 'Cause
Absolutely.
once I start actually doing the legit marketing, which is why I'm saying it might be, I'm trying for October, but I have to have time to market it. I got to allocate funds to it so that it's like people see it. Because you know how it is. Social media, it denies everybody access to see your shit. So,
If it comes later, it's a fucking Christmas present. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, dude. yeah. That might be it. Merry Christmas. But yeah, Mega Cosmic Adventure, like, for anybody listening that is interested in what we're talking about, the stories I've been posting, it is a weird, I'll say my piece and what you think, because we all view it different, right? And we are missing 2 of the fucking voice actors here from this episode. But essentially, we're not improv actors or anything like that, but I've listened to other podcasts where they do a story and there's improv and stuff like that, and I came up with an idea on one of my trips coming across, listened to a podcast where they do like some improv shit. Hey, let's do a fucking sci-fi weird thing or improv episode, kind of like the Mole People shit, with the exception of, like, if you've listened to the Mole People episodes or the OLP, like, there's a bunch of dialogue, and there's a bunch of
But
action.
it's not in-person dialogue. It's talking about the story instead of being the story.
Yeah, and sometimes you hear people have discussions, but it's not as in-depth as this one is.
Yeah.
So essentially, the comedy, I wanted to do like an OLP thing, but I think like it's too hard to not have the people that were part of it
Yeah,
to
I
begin
agree.
with, and to get them on board, because everybody's split across the country, and I don't even know where some of them are now. But to like, how do we make a story out of like a conversation? And so essentially I wrote this outline for this starting point, essentially, of this series of like, hey, what was it? Myself, you, and Peter.
Yeah.
And I just said, hey, here's how the story starts. We're going to just go off of this and we'll just have a discussion about what we think should happen. And as we, essentially the story started with an outline that said, my character is transported into an interdimensional void. And then he is greeted by fucking Peter, you know? And that was the outline, that was the original outline. And then I called both of them and I said, hey, tomorrow come up with a character, what you think you should be. So you had the idea for what, a cyborg, right?
No, it started out as like some creature with legs with arms for legs. It was just all fucked up. But what's cool about the process is by the 3 of us working together, we got this like dynamic where I came up with something for Peter's character.
Yeah.
You came up with something for Peter's character, and we just kind of melded everything together.
Yep.
Mine turned into a cyborg. His turned into some very interesting creature, which you'll hear about if you follow.
Yeah. Not to give away a lot of the shit.
We're not going to get into a lot of detail, but it's really fun. It's a lot of work, and it's it's different because you're acting the story as opposed to just telling a story. So it's you are the story.
So essentially how it works is like a game. We have an outline for each episode, and that's about it. And it's very vague. There's 3 sections to it, and it says, this is the story based on the previous episode that we did. And then here's the 3 sections. This is what I think we should do to keep this story going. So there's actual like an outline that just we're propelling in a certain way. And I don't know what the next outline is going to be until we record that episode that's based on the previous episode. So it's just this continuation of the original premise of the show.
You're essentially saying in your outline, like, here's where we need to be at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
So what we do and fucking in between, boom, just comes right off the top.
And we'll record for fucking 3+ hours. That like the one episode was like 4 hours of fucking dialogue, people pissing, going in and out. And then in there, I'm able to take that audio and cut out all the vocals in the dialogue, remove all the discussion about what we're doing. So like if Mark says something and then we want it, like we can see that it would be better a certain way, we'll say, hey, say it like this, and he'll do the same to everybody else. So we all help each other make the best possible story or the best possible dialogue and keep the story going along with the outline. But the in-between parts, we don't know what's going to happen. So like it's fucking hilarious. Like sometimes, because right now it's been so long since we recorded episode 3, I fucking barely remember. So I'll go in there and I'll hear some of the shit we're all saying, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is crazy. And so like the challenge is like taking those clips of dialogue and like rearranging them to make sense, because I'm not just keeping stuff in the order. Sometimes I'm taking audio from here or a small little clip to make this funnier, and I'm trying to make it as funny as possible as we go along with with the funny shit we're talking about. And the hardest part, I guess, is the editing first off. But then when you say something, or Peter or Brandon says something, it's like we all have to react to that, and you can't sit there like we do sometimes and say, nah, that wouldn't make sense. We only say no, it wouldn't make sense if it's like it fucks up the story from before. So we have to keep continuity. But like we have to react. Like if Mark says something really outlandish, we have to react to it like that's what's in the story now.
Yeah.
So if he says I've got a fucking eyeball that pops out of my head, then
like, why are you wearing ladies' shoes?
Yeah. And
like, because I fucking like them. That's,
yeah.
You just gotta play off of it.
We put Mark and we gave him new legs or something like that, and he's got ladies' high heels on now for whatever fucking reason. So, what else you got on it?
Man, I'm excited for the process, man. It's been a lot of fun so far, and dedicating time to it shows that we're into it. So I'm excited to see the product when it's released, and I think everybody else will get a kick out of it. That's for sure. Yeah. It's different. It's a lot different than the things that are out there, you know. And the story is rated R for sure.
Yeah.
But so don't let your kids listen to it. But if you don't give a shit, let your kids listen to it. You know? I don't care.
I mean, I have to admit that I've let Jax listen to it a little bit, but it's very like
selected,
like the Havoc King. Oh, I just released something. Anyway, one of the characters, like I let him listen to part of that, even though that's like the most vile. But like I have to like really cut it up into like you can listen to this section because he thinks it's funny, and he's actually gonna be a part of it. Like this. The outline for this next one includes him as a fucking voice character.
Nice.
And I'm not going to say what it is because it's like it's basically like, I haven't written it out, so I don't know if we're all going to be in here or if it's going to be like separate. Because dude, it's like the vision I have for the episode 6 is like, dude, it's going to start getting more and more ridiculous,
and that's how it is every fucking time. So that's what it should
each
be.
episode. Like the first one is, if you listen to the first episode, it's going to be like, it sounds good, it's a really well
building a plot.
It's built, but it's starting, so we don't even know what each other's characters look like, and we're all just describing what we see, what the world is like, you know. And I don't know about you, but I have a vision for what things look like, and then you guys will come in and just totally shit all over that with your fucking ideas.
Yep.
And then I'm like, that didn't.
Fuck.
Yeah.
The same thing. Same
yeah,
thing.
it's like you think that certain things are going to happen and it just doesn't, but then you got to react and it's like this whole new fucking thing. That's even better than you probably would, think of doing, But I'm super excited about it. A lot of times I'll when I was doing the one character the last time, which I'm just fucking just talking and doing that voice, which by the way, we all do voices. And I think myself and Peter, you have 3, I think now or something like that. And then I have the most right now. I've only beat Peter by 1, but it's dude, we got 7 fucking voices.
Yeah.
And we'll do voices where we're talking to our own characters and we have to switch immediately back and forth. So it's
so difficult.
It gets fucking crazy and you'll catch yourself doing the other characters' voices when you're supposed to do another one.
Fuck, who am I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Peter's really good at it. He can switch. The one I was listening to with the one character in the cave, where it was his life force. He was switching back and forth between his main character and fucking this. But anyway,
It's like he's got multiple personalities.
yeah, dude's
We just
natural.
didn't know.
He's just been slipping into them. Didn't say shit. He's actually these characters.
That's funny.
But yeah, I'll come out of I came out of that one with a voice. My voice was all fucked up for the next day, and I was sweating my ass off while I was doing it.
Yep.
And you could just get really into these characters. It's fucking crazy. Sounds super nerdy, but it's fucking hilarious. It's when I started getting the artwork done, it reminded me of 1990s point and click adventure games where they were cartoons, and I was man, it's like choose your own adventure, but we don't know where the fucking adventure's going, and we're creating that shit. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
It reminds me, when we first started talking about it, I was picturing those Adam Sandler skits where the talking goat.
Fuck me in the goat ass.
Oh, fuck me in the goat. You really whiz that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but
Yeah.
different type of story where we're acting in it. There's the sound effects. It's all fucking cool.
That's the best way I could put it. If you're if you ever listen to the Adam Sandler stuff and he had these little skits, well, these are fucking an hour-long skits of us creating this universe, essentially, of this new fucking story.
Yep. Characters, plots, items in the universe, just all kinds of stuff that are you'll never think where that story's going. You can guess. You'll be wrong.
Yeah.
You'll be like, okay, they're gonna do this. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But it makes when you listen to it, it makes complete. It's not it's just all over the place, which I thought was gonna happen, but we actually do it really well where it's the story's actually going in a direction.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where it's gonna fucking end. I have an idea of so I know the beginning, middle, and end, right? I know, and even the conclusion of this season or this book or chapter, I have an idea what it is, and then I'll talk to Peter about some shit and be and it will just completely fucking change because I'm looking for an outline, where does this fucking story conclude for the next season if we do a next season, which will really depend on people that listen to it. If you go follow Mega Cosmic Adventure at Mega Cosmic Adventure, you guys that listen will be determined if we continue this on, because we have done a fuck ton of work on it. Editing is a monster. That's a different fucking beast altogether. But everybody that's a part of it doing voices, it's we'll sit here for fucking hours discussing it. Then we'll record, and then we'll fucking do hours of dialogue, and we'll just be fucking completely exhausted, pissed off. I don't want to fucking talk anymore because your brain's working so much. But we're putting in so many fucking hours that I hope that everybody enjoys it, listens to it. I know it's not realistic to think that we're going to get fucking everybody happy, but I think if you like he's saying, if you like this podcast, you'll definitely love that. If you like any of the other previous wacky shit, this is the most ambitious out of all the projects I've fucking worked on. This is the most ambitious fucking thing that I've done, I think, with the editing alone, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. And just hearing the excerpts of what you've worked on and the stuff we've worked on, but you've edited.
Yeah.
It's, in my mind, it's a wrap, man. It's going to be fucking cool.
Fucking crazy. I have the first line. Well, no, we've got actual professional voice actors that do some shit, but the first line of dialogue ever spoken in this was so awkward. Even though we all podcast and shit together, it was the most awkward fucking thing I
We've
think
never
I've done.
acted.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like voice acting, and I'm like, oh, I'm just like, what
how do
is this? Where am I? Who are
That's
you
why
guys?
a lot of voice actors have a visual to go off of.
Yeah.
We didn't have that shit.
Yeah.
So we just have this picture in our mind of what it is, and we got to go off that. You know?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening right now? What do I see in my mind? And just fucking go with it.
Like, I'll throw Peter under the bus. He totally fucked up my idea about what it was, like where the whole thing starts. I was like, what? Like, we started there? Are you fucking crazy? Like, it's great. It works. But we've got to tie it in somehow.
It builds the story, and you just have to play off
because
of
it just the beginning happens, and we're just like, oh yeah, let me just
Like, all right.
It's like we're just not going to talk about that. Like, we've got to put that in somewhere where we're like, hey, maybe we should actually discuss what happened, you know? Because we just kind of blow by it. Like, when you pose a question, it's like, why are you guys so focused on this?
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah.
it's like, well, we just have to.
You're like, why are we trying to do this?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah.
We just got here. Like, what?
Yeah. But anyway, it's such a good time. It's funny as I think the funniest fucking thing.
Oh, dude, we have a
I've
good
listened
time.
to.
We'll laugh for minutes straight, just trying to like focus on what we're saying,
Yeah.
and somebody will come out with, you know, some line, and we're just dying.
God
dude.
damn.
Oh.
Like,
and then we got to refocus.
Brandon he got into the series doing voice like episode 3 or something like that, and so he's got more than that. He's got when did we meet?
I think it was episode 3 or 4, one of the two.
It's got to be 3 because he's got a few episodes now. But yeah, the last episode, like he's more into it, and he's like, he says some really fucking funny shit. Like at some points, like he's just like, when he comes to the realization of a few things that his character has dealt with, like he's been a part of some program. He like he realizes that, you know, I'm not gonna ruin it, but it's just like the stuff and the way he reacts is like so fluid and like quick with it.
Yeah.
Which is like when he first started, he was a little bit looking at us all do this. We have 2 episodes under our belt, and then he's like watching us do this. Like, what the fuck are these people doing? Because we're just doing voices and creating this stuff, and it's like it makes no fucking sense. I think if you were to just to sit here and watch it without knowing what the fuck was going on, I'd just be like, what are you guys doing? But then after you hear the editing, it makes total fucking sense what's actually happening.
And what's really unique about this whole project too is you see a bit of each person and each character too. So like the way I talk and my sarcasm and my wittiness comes out as I'm acting in this character. So you see, okay, I know that's Mark.
Yeah.
Peter's character has this creativity and this reverse sarcasm that he uses against people, and it comes out in his character whenever he talks. So that's Peter, you know, that's Peter. And then Brandon, that docile, like, I'm gonna sit back and let this happen, but here's my 2 cents. It shines, you know what I mean? Each person has their characters, and they show like a part of them in each one. So it's cool.
What would you explain my last character I created?
Oh my god, dude! That
without getting it like
so.
That's definitely a part of me.
It is.
That's like,
it is.
It's like how my brain works, and it was like that's why like if you look at the actual audio track, I'm just fucking the whole fucking thing. Whereas previous episodes,
cool,
I'm just sitting back and I'm just like responding to stuff, and I'm not really taking. You guys are doing more of the legwork. Like Peter's doing a lot of legwork. You are, including like these little things. You're great at keeping us on track. We're like, that wouldn't happen, guys. And we're like, fuck. But I'm mostly just reactionary. Whereas like that new character, I'm just like, fuck all of you. Like,
what's cool about your way of pulling in these characters too? You're pulling from not just your creative part of your brain, but you're pulling from parts of your real world scenarios, and you're like, how can I bring what's happening in my life into this character, and how is it going to affect the rest of these characters? And you just fucking let it happen. So
there's
cool.
like in that specific character I'm talking about, because I don't want to ruin like anybody's shit, but like mine specifically, like that's like I've done fucking 7 voices or so. Like that character, I was like, I wish that dude had a spin-off, like just doing his shit. Not because like I think I'm like fucking awesome. It's just like the dynamic and like weird chaotic shit that goes on while he's doing his thing is just like, wow, I thought we were gonna kill him off like at some point quick. But then talking to Peter, I think maybe you, I was like, this dude needs to fucking
Nice.
stay around for like until at least the end of the season. So it's like just this continuation of whatever the fuck was happening in that episode. I guess I'll tell you after this what myself and Peter talked about how things happen with him, but I'm just like, Jesus fucking, it gets weirder and weirder.
Nice.
But yeah, we have little things where we talk about like what we think should happen, but that's the extent of it. Like the part that changes things up is when the human factor comes in and we're talking and it's just like, well, that piece of dialogue is so fucking awesome. It needs to stay in there, so we can't change that.
Yeah.
Some of the outlines are completely different than what actually happened in the story. And I like on our little like master document, like I don't know if I've showed you it, but I keep track of everything that's happening from how do I edit the certain voices. Like your character has a vocal tune to it where it's not his voice, it's because you're a cyborg and we've already talked about it, so it's like there's a robotic overlay voice where you can't even tell it's him, although his mannerisms, stuff like that. But yeah, there's I don't know, I'm kind of rambling now, but it's I'm fucking super excited. Go check out Mega Cosmic Adventure.
It's a huge fucking project. It's taking a long time, but the end result is going to be amazing, and it's going to transport you to another universe just by audio. You know what I mean?
And I think like also like with this podcast, with everything we talk about with some political stuff, but it's a fucking break from all that bullshit.
Exactly. Yep.
What I'm super stoked about is like these dudes are here when I'm like, hey, I've got a crazy fucking idea. Like, you guys want to do this fucking series?
Let's
like
go.
and amazingly, because I thought it was not, I thought for whatever reason, it's not about anybody, but I was just like, I don't know if this is gonna fucking work out, like because of the awkwardness of doing the acting and whatever. But everybody just was like even after the first part where I was just inside, I was like such a fucking
dude, you had me
mess.
Sweating when you were trying to talk. I'm like, fuck, how's it gonna be for me? Shit.
But then you recording and doing like just talking, and then you're like a robot now.
Yeah.
Like when you hear his voice on it, it's like this dude's a fucking robot.
Yeah. Well, when I talk to, I'm trying to like imagine my voice as a robot, but not. I'm trying not to use that robot tone because I'm a cyborg. So I'm like part. You know, I got to keep the character melded, but at the same time, it's like I know what it's gonna sound like later on. So I'm like, how can I make this sound better? You know, so there's just a lot that goes into it. It's fucking fun.
And the evolution of everybody's character over time, like from the first episode where we're all kind of a little bit awkward, even though it doesn't sound like it. I think it's like the way we start conversing. Like Peter, when he started, he was very like a certain way, and then he's like by
loosens
episode
up
he's
a
like
little bit,
whatever, which will raise some suspicions on our part, but.
Yes.
But yeah, it's cool. How many characters are there in this whole fucking thing? I don't even know at this point. I've only done art for some of them. Yeah.
The artwork's fucking awesome too. Go follow the page on Instagram for one. You'll see a little bit of the artwork. I'm
conflicted about the artwork though, because I want people to go into it and have their own like idea of it.
Okay.
And like even though I've put some of the characters out, like, and you can look at them, I'm kind of like, I like the artwork, and so I'm putting it out there, but I want people to make up their own thing, and then after an episode, I'll be like, here's your fucking character.
Yes, you're going to get half the listeners that aren't on the social media stuff, you know? They're not following it, or they don't see it, you know? So I think giving them some kind of artwork with the episode, just when you drop it, excellent idea, because then they're like, oh, it's drawing me in physically, like visually and audio, you know?
Yeah.
So giving them just kind of like a screenshot of something, boom, they're like, okay, my eyes are fixed, now let's get my ears fixed. They listen to it and they're like, okay, wow, I see this going on in my mind now. It makes sense.
Yeah. With the art too, like I just take what we describe this character as, like in the event of your character, his main character, because we all have like other voices we do. Like you were a guard, and then your main character. Did you do any others in that? You were part of the bug.
Yeah.
And say okay. Yeah. So I'll take those descriptions that we all do, I'll send it to an artist that is like, I have the same artist that does all that shit. And I'll get other people to do stuff, but like I give him a description and then some references, and then he'll create the fucking characters based on that, and then we'll get the visual representation of that. We'll be like, holy fuck, that's exactly what the fuck this dude is.
Yeah.
Like when we describe you, like with some of the stuff on you, it's like, well, that's who he is. Like, it's fucking crazy. So then I'm gonna take that artwork, and I did that. You know, I want everybody to have an imagination about what the fuck this is, but I had the artwork done because if we have new voices come in, because I think if this first season's successful, people will hear about it, and then we'll have other people that we'll bring in other than just us, right? And I want them to have a visual reference so that we're not going like, he is like this, and they can just look at it. You know what I mean? So, but I'll take that also. I needed a frame of reference so I could like go to somebody that does a different style of art and be like, hey, put all these characters in this sort of scene that we have, which is what I want to do also. Is like for episode 1, I'll have, or chapter 1, or whatever the fuck the designation is, I'll have basically the characters that are part of it, and I'll be like, draw these guys in this thing in your style, and then it will be like a scene that we'll put on there as like chapter 1. Fucking,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So there's a lot of stuff in play with it other than just the audio portion. There's going to be Patreon. There's going to be merchandise. There's going to be so many fucking things with it once it's actually started rolling. And I know that it's going to be, if people get involved with it, it's going to be this fucking, I personally think, and I'm trying not to get my hopes up because I don't want to be like, fuck, you know, but I think that it will catch on like with at least the sci-fi community and like fucking people that like this podcast,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. That's,
So
I think it'll take off.
if you're listening, go to Mega Cosmic Adventure on Instagram right now, because there's going to be other pages, but right now that's where you can see all the current information.
Yep.
But what else you got? What are your thoughts
Man.
of 5 episodes so far that we've done?
It's definitely evolving. So we started out, we had no fucking clue what was going to happen. Slowly we're building this, like you said, building this story, and it's got a direction, somewhat of a direction on you know, at the beginning where we are and where we need to get by the end, and we just build from there and create everything inside this universe. And there's a couple of times where we all have shown some frustration on like how we're gonna make this happen, or how do we keep it happening, because it's getting stagnant in the middle, or we lose focus. But
Or we're just talking about the same shit over and over again.
repeating the same thing,
Yeah.
or stuck in the same spot. But then once we get past that hump, it just evolves and we just keep moving, which is cool. So
Yeah.
it's good to build on it. It's hard to keep focus sometimes, but it's definitely a brain workout,
Yeah.
which is fucking awesome in my opinion.
I'll like, if I go piss or something like that too, and like I hear you guys just taking a break and just shooting the shit on stuff, I'm like, holy fuck, those are great ideas.
Yeah.
Like, you know, which is cool. Like there's a lot of fucking talent going into this thing, or fresh ideas and whatever.
Yep.
Just make it fucking awesome. But anyway,
And it's candid, so it's not like we're planning this shit out and writing out a script and
Yeah.
doing all that. We're just having conversations, and
that will be apparently
Living it.
clear in it too. When because I specifically leave some of the laughs that are just like, it makes it obvious that no one fucking knew it.
yeah.
That was coming. But I timed them perfectly for when like people will say shit and it's like
So
none of us knew it
outlandish.
was gonna
Yeah.
fucking happen,
It's
and
like
then you just like
somebody's
everyone's
trying to
dying
somebody's
laughing.
trying to respond, but they're laughing in their response. You're like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah. And so all that little, like, a lot of it I take out, but very specifically, like a few times an episode, you'll hear in the background as somebody's talking, you'll hear somebody just dying laughing, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But
oh shit, where'd that dog come from?
yeah, where's that dog come from? 2 dogs mauling each other. The dog probably heard you talking. Wait, somebody's here? Fuck! Anyway, what else we got? We got TaskDev. Go to TaskDev. You got anything to
TaskDev.org.
say before we...
We're doing a fundraiser currently. I don't know how long it's going to be open for. You got an idea?
Until
on
we
that?
meet the goal.
Until we meet the goal. Go to TaskDev on social media and find the link. We're going to keep posting it every couple days for our TaskDev tandems. Trying to get some people up in the air to throw out of an airplane. So we're building funds for that. And for TASDEV, if you don't know, you will. None of the funds go to us. We'll collect all this money, but it's going straight into all the things that we do for the veteran community, for civilians. They're like-minded. All the money comes in and it goes right back out into these events and into these things that we're trying to do. So we're building the funds to be able to throw people out of planes, to be able to get the gas money to take people along on hikes, to buy gear in case people don't have it for the hikes.
Which we've got a
stuff.
pretty good amount of gear stockpiled.
Yep. Some sponsorship stuff that we can do in the future. It's all building funds, not for lining our pockets or buying trucks. It's for giving back to the community.
You had to throw that in there, huh?
Goddamn right I did. We both have newer trucks that we purchased out of our own fucking day job pockets. So if you ever think we're buying shit for ourselves, fuck off.
Yeah. That's a weird, that's a whole conversation we're not going to get into. You know, I don't want to be petty or anything like that, but there are some people that have misunderstood a lot of things about the way that TASDEV is, and they've been selfish. They're on their own half, trying to take advantage of the organization, and we've had to get them out of the group. So if you've ever followed TASDEV and you see people that have,
disappeared,
it's usually because we kind of lose the association with them because of some, bad intent for those people. So, whatever.
Yep.
It's not a
Life
shot across the bow or anything, but
there's no mutinies going on.
Yeah. Anyway, TASDEV, go follow TASDEV. That's huge. Fundraiser for Tandem Skydivers. We got big things coming up. Potential headquarters here in Pacific Northwest, bringing everything back here to have more dynamic and robust events, more so than we've already done in the past. I mean, they're awesome already, but it'll be even better going forward.
Yeah.
And a renewed focus. And then go follow Mega Cosmic Adventure. I've been talking about it. You've been talking about it for the past fucking hour.
Goddamn right.
It's the best fucking thing since Slice Snuma, And go follow this page if you're just listening to the podcast. And I want to say thank you to everybody that's been listening still, even though there's been no episodes. I truly appreciate it. And we'll have more of these because now this is like pulling off the Band-Aid.
Yep.
We're back, baby. So hopefully we have more.
We're back, baby.
If you enjoyed my wacky shit, maybe I'll do one on this next trip I'm on. Just solo in my fucking closet,
there
going, hey, you guys ever hear about macaroni and cheese and bacon or some shit? And I'll just fucking have a microwave or some shit because that's the extent of my fucking
bring the
episodes.
Microwave into your closet and fucking do that.
You guys want to see what I put a fucking snail in here or something?
It's just jackets hanging up next to you.
Yeah, it's weird. Like when I get on an episode by myself, it's fucking weird.
Fucking something out of the pocket, some ravioli out of the pocket of the jacket or something.
It's fucking wild.
Throw it in the microwave.
And we'll do more of these. We'll get the other guys on to talk about. Maybe we'll do a fucking 4-person episode or some shit.
Hell yeah.
Talk about their perspective, behind the scenes shit. So
we'll get David back on and make fun of him a little bit.
That's mostly
gotta
the
get my
episodes.
jabs in there.
He's been better. He's been better when he's been on. I just got to do a podcast, guys. I got a podcast. I got to start my own.
I got a lot to say.
Yeah.
And then you get on.
There's things and thoughts.
Got all these thoughts I just want to get out.
David,
so what do you got to say? I don't know.
That's the best. David, I love you. I know you're listening. You're going to be surprised there's a new episode. I love you, but you do that a lot,
Oh, yeah.
Should we say where he works now? Because he always gets scared about us talking about it.
Yeah, he does.
Not going to do that to you, David. Anyway, Mark, thanks for being on the episode.
Anytime.
People, thanks for listening and watching.
Hell yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Oh, my God, it's back. I forgot about that.